Hi, my name is Meagan Clanahan, and I am the co-owner of Houston Moms. And we are back this month with another episode of Houston Moms on the Move. And guys, trying not to nerd out too much, but I am nerding out a little bit. If you're watching this on video, you'll see baseball, y'all. And that's because we had the Julia Morales in the house to speak with us this month on Houston Moms on the Move. And this is our podcast designed to inspire, engage, encourage you in the trenches of motherhood, wherever you may be, provide a few tips, a little bit of laughter, and just a general uplift, which we all need right now. Julia, I am so glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here. As you were reading that and or whatever you were doing over there, you're introing the heck out of that. I was just thinking that I don't really do podcast about momming as much as I do, interviews and talking about just like my job or journalism or, like all being a woman in sports. Like, I know we'll get to some of that, but it's so cool that that is the purpose of this and the conversations that you're having. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, it's so good. And I love that you do all of that, but I really think, they're at the core of you is you're a mom. And you're doing all of this while being a mom. And by the way, all of this, and I can't read the whole bio, y'all, because it is very lengthy. But if you watch Astros at all, you will recognize our friend here. She's in her 13th season, correct? With the Astros, five-time Emmy Award winner. I remember this game. You made history in 2024. You called play-by-play alongside Jenny Cavnar. And I remember listening to that and being, I think I may have like fangirled and messaged you and been like, that was incredible.
Oh,
Um, so, and but you're on the sidelines, you're doing all the things, you're getting
yeah.
the interviews, but you are a mom to a
Mhm.
5-year-old, right? Can you tell us a little bit about your daughter?
Yes, let's talk Valerie, who's crazy. She is a crazy 5-year-old, but I think most 5-year-olds are crazy. It is such a fun age, and she's full of life. She's full of personality. She's very outgoing. She is watching my every move as she is an only child. Matt and I started our family a little bit later. I mean, the more we talk on this podcast, you'll probably understand why. Just with the job and the career that I had going, it was so wonderful to finally start the family with Valerie, and she's been the greatest blessing light, just completely like kind of changing our whole world in a way. And she is stepping on the scene, and she is trying to like stand in my light sometimes, and like she's watching me create content. Now she wants to be a content creator. I mean, I'm like, girl, slow down. You have years ahead of you to do all this, but she is fun. And I am just so happy to be a mom. It is so hard to be a mom, all of the things. And it's been a lot of fun to introduce her to my working world that has not slowed down one bit since I've had her. So that all of that's been really fun.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that journey to, obviously you have an incredibly demanding role, job that requires travel, all
Yeah.
these things. How do you wrap it around in your head and be like, okay, it's going to be time to have a baby and let's see how this goes?
We could have a whole podcast on this alone because I studied journalism, wanted to be on TV, and I was so career driven at a young age. I mean, I was 10 years old and wanted to be a news reporter and was ready to take on and see things and see the world and do all the things. And so all I dreamed about was working and being that news reporter. And as I got older, I fell in love with the sports and the idea of being a sports reporter. And that then it was you come to the realization of like, oh yeah, you don't get weekends anymore if this is the route you're taking, because on the news side there's Monday through Friday jobs out there. If you're an anchor, there's somewhat of like, I don't know if it's normal by any means, especially if you're night side or whatever, but still, like, you could have a Saturday off. Not the case when you're in sports. And so I just kept going and going, and it never slowed me down and it never stopped me because it was what I wanted. I got to probably, my late 20s and was having a time. I was the Astros reporter. I was traveling, but I was also like, okay, so all my friends have had kids at this point, or a lot of my friends have had kids at this point. They started their families. I'm like, I guess I should probably do that at some point. It wasn't like I didn't have the like internal drive that people talk about. It wasn't like killing me that I hadn't had a kid yet. But the thought was there. And then as the years went on, I met Matt, my now husband, and once we became serious, it was like, oh gosh, when are we going to bring a family in? But the other side of this, my job's as crazy as it is. My husband was playing ball and he was playing in Japan and he was playing in Mexico. And so we had talked about, trying to get pregnant. I was like, well, you got to be in the same country if you're going to try to pull this off. So we had that going too. We would only be together in the same place at the same time, like once a month, or we had a really crazy long distance relationship for the first half of our marriage. Now we've been married 10 years at this point. And so, that was going too. We finally just kind of were like, let's dive in and do this. He retired. We got pregnant right before 2020, like the 2020 year. We didn't know obviously our future in that
Yeah.
year, but we had her on the way, and here we go. And like, if I had to do it all over again, I probably would have started earlier. But the other part of this is that in TV, you didn't see people on TV pregnant when I was younger. Like, you didn't like associate women with being moms when you saw them on camera, and which is a shame. And it has changed. Like, that has all changed. And I wanted to be a part of that. Once I kind of got over that hump and I was stable in my career and I was in a good place and I was getting contracts, then I felt like I wasn't going to get fired because I was pregnant, like, but that was a fear. That was a real fear for a long time. So that definitely went into why I was, 28 years old and thinking like, I don't know, kids, I don't know, I'm doing great, right? That's why. But I think because now it is something you see, it's a visual, you're exposed to it. It's not scary, and it's not like, and sure, there are situations out there where more women might lose their job or lose their position, or just it might change because they are having a child or starting a family. And that's an absolute shame. Again, like I said, we could do a whole other podcast on all of this. However, in the television world, it has changed so much. And I was very passionate about, once I got over the hump of like being the ugly pregnant to the cute pregnant, you know what I mean? Like, going
Yeah.
from just eating a lot of tortillas and having that like food belly to like I'm popping and I look like I'm pregnant. Once I got to
Yeah.
that point, I was like, put me on TV and put me where I'm facing the side. That way fans like see that I'm pregnant and they grow with me, right? Like,
Yes.
this is happening. I'm a woman, I am a mom, and like, this is happening. And I felt like that was really important just because it was something I didn't see, and I had struggled with all of that. But yeah, so not easy,
No,
right?
but
Not
it
easy.
is so we didn't see it as I was an
No.
80s baby growing up. Like it was you, I don't know, women number one weren't like on the sidelines of a lot of games.
And then there's that, right? Yeah.
And so, and then, on the news, like they might just not be there. And it just wasn't celebrated or talked about. It's funny you should mention the bump, though. I was pregnant with the twins. I have twin 15-year-olds now,
Hmm.
which is a whole other thing. And that's a whole other podcast. But I remember getting over that. Yes, the tortilla baby,
Right.
like I just ate too much
Too
Chewy's
many
or
chicks, too many.
and then I was at Subway one day and a sweet woman was like, "Oh, are you pregnant?" And I was like, "Yes,
Yes.
thank you for noticing." Um, I think I was like 19 or 20 weeks at that time. And I was
Yeah.
just like, thank God, like
Yeah.
that's not this like moon face anymore. I mean, we all go through
Yes.
our situation. So let's talk about, I mean, not only being pregnant, but also having a baby. and then raising a small child with a schedule that you keep, how does that work for you guys? I mean, so many would be fascinated to know because obviously you're on the road. By
Yeah.
the way, if you don't follow Julia on Instagram, you should because it's an interesting, you do like a lot of like fun little collabs and like get ready with me and these are your outfits and
Yeah.
but you're also flying hotel, hotel, hotel.
Mhm.
What does that look like for you guys?
Yeah, so for people who don't follow or just don't know the world, when I became a sports reporter, the sports reporter was one thing, and then I decided to take it to the next level and be a baseball sideline reporter, and that is the hardest gig out there. I will, challenge anyone on that. Football reporters, they aren't with one specific team all year. You tune in to watch the Texans on Sunday and it's like a different person because it's a different network. Mind you, there's only 18 weeks in that season. That's cute. NBA, and I help out with the NBA. That's half the games that the Astros play, and their travel is not bad. These people complain about back-to-back games, and you'll hear them. It's like, oh, it's a back-to-back. Oh my gosh, we were 9 days on the road. Oh my gosh, and like that'll be their longest trip for a while, or to be like, it's just it's
Yeah,
different. That sport is obviously different. So we're talking about I'm not talking about like what's actually happening in the field. I'm just talking about like the logistics in general.
yeah.
Then there's baseball. There's 162 of these games. I work some spring training too. So I'll be in Florida for a few weeks on and off. We also have rodeo now that we're doing. So I'll be like hosting some rodeo shows when I'm home. Once that opening day hits though, I am the Astros sideline reporter. So wherever the team is, I am. And I have a few days off over the course of the season, but not a lot. And I mean, I'm talking like I don't have off in April. Like I will not have a day off in April. Likely not the first half of May because that's like us getting started. Also, my backup is still busy doing rockets or something else. I mean, there's just like we don't have enough manpower early on. And then September's like no days off. And that's because like the season's winding down. Usually the Astros are getting ready to clinch. Like these are highly rated games, right? But like I'm working every day and I am not working just every day. I'm working long hours every day. I'm at the ballpark or I've left the house by like 1 or 2 every afternoon. I'm getting home around 11 o'clock every night. And then you start over and you do it again, right? And then the travel is like 81 games on the road, 81 games at home. So we are on the road, 100 days a year, like probably 90 something days a year, because sometimes we have off days in there or there's a travel day or whatever. It's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And I always hit a wall like somewhere in May. I've been doing this for so long. It is getting harder on me the older that I get. The jet lag is real. We'll have 12 days on the West Coast. And the first, you come home and you think about it as a mom, like, I haven't seen my kid in forever and I need to be up when she gets up, but that's like 4 a.m. in LA. I'm like, and I've
Mhm.
been on West Coast time. It gets to be painful in that aspect. So how do we do it? Well, every year has been different, and that's because, as you know, as a mom, like every year your kid is different, and like what your kid needs and all of that. So, 2020 we didn't travel. I actually had her in 2020. 2021 we didn't travel either because the broadcasters hadn't been cleared. Like that was the year everyone was taking their temp before they walked in the building. I'm just like giving everyone a refresher, like what
Yeah.
life was like. That actually worked out really well for me because that was year one for Valerie. So I was working out of the studio, but I was still working every single day. However, I had help. My mom would come in, and I got to see her, right? Like at the end of the day, I would get to see her. 2022 was like the hardest year of my
Mhm.
life. If you're an Astros fan, you know that that was one of the best years in the organization. What made that so hard was the first year back, like full throttle back on the road. I worked 150 out of the 162 games. So I'd already done spring training. I was in it and the team was good. So we were busy. We were like doing extra shows, extra appearances were happening. I decided to start a business that season. Baseball, y'all, you're rocking the hat right now. That all happened in 2022. I had no idea what was about to happen as far as the season went. So I was doing all this as like it was just another season. They win the division, they go to the playoffs and they win it. They win the whole freaking thing. And so all of October I'm doing. This is a whole extra month of playoffs coming off a year where we had a whole extra month because they went all the way to game 6 of the World Series the year before and lost to the Braves. So this is 2022. We did it again. However, we came out on the winning side. So it keeps going, Megan. There's a parade. There's this, there's that, right? Like there's all these extra shows. And so by the time it was over, it was like November 15th, and that was the Astros gala, and I emceed it. And then I look up and I'm like, I haven't slept, and like I don't know I'm so freaking tired. And like Thanksgiving's next week, and then Christmas, and it's like my kids too, and I want it to be magical, and I did not have anything in me. Like I didn't want to see
Mhm.
people, I didn't want to like hang, and I love my family. We have a great relationship, but I was like, I don't, if I'm coming over, I'm laying on your couch and taking a nap and like take my kid and like help me. We made it work. It was like week by week, logistically, we're like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm here. Who can be here? My husband had just retired. So he was like taking on the role of like mom and dad that year. My parents live in the Dallas area. They were driving in constantly to help us. We had like three different babysitters. The other thing is I can't just like have a nanny. Like we don't have nanny hours. I don't have nanny hours. Like
Yeah.
my nothing makes sense about my gig. And then it ends abruptly. Like once it's over, I have time. So I become mom. So, it's like I can't even have someone again with like getting help. Like you can't have someone full time, or you can't just be like, all right, I'm good on October
Yeah.
15th. I'll see you next March because they get other jobs, so it's just like I'm in this like weird world where like nothing is like it. And
So it
it's
sounds
hard.
very, you have to kind of piecemeal it together
I
as
mean, you have to
the
be on top of it.
season, yeah,
Yes.
as the season comes.
And we plan, you plan. And then October gets here and it's just like, all right, everyone, all hands on deck. I have no idea what's happening because, it could go
Yeah.
all the way or not. But my point is it's hard. And
Yeah.
people are like, how are you doing it? I'm not sleeping. I'm not taking care of myself. Like I'm trying to, make sure she has her costume for Dr. Seuss Day, and then I'm trying to make sure that like I have my outfit for that thing I have to MC at 12, and then I've got to be at the ballpark, and I've got to. I mean, I think that's a big reason why this world that I'm in is hard. Is like it's taxing to just be me, to be on TV, to put on the TV makeup every day. I have to bring it every day. I can't cuss on this podcast. This is the family friendly, but I'm like, I can't just like walk in and like halfway do a show. I can't. I'm live at 7 o'clock no matter what. And so like you just gotta find it within. It is show business, baby, and
Yeah.
and then you just fall out. And so I will say like, thank God I have a wonderful mother and father who love helping. Megan, it's a kind of a blessing that I only have one and that we don't, like this worked out. This is the way our lives worked out. I can't imagine the world that you're in with several and like
Oh,
I don't know if it would work. Like I would have to take a step back. That's when I would have to make choices in my career. And
yeah.
I'm like, don't make me do that. I love my job. I'm just so lucky to have a job that I freaking love. I talk to people all the
Yes.
day or like I would give anything just to like to not work. And I freaking love my job and I love the people that I work with. And I just don't want to give that up yet either.
Well, and I think anyone who's listening or watching this can see the just like true passion that comes through about you loving what you do and also loving your family. And I think there's so many of us who are in similar situations where um you said something about a showgirl, life of show business. Um, so Life of a Showgirl,
Yes.
Taylor Allison Swift is my girl. And she has a keychain I bought a keychain that says your energy is expensive.
I heard her say that.
I look at that every day and I'm like, your energy is expensive. And so it's really choosing where we're gonna put that energy,
Yes.
how we funnel it in quality to our child. How does she react to mom being gone? Like, how do y'all have conversations? Because now she's five.
Yeah.
So like when she
Yeah.
was two, I'm not sure she could quite
Mm-mm.
grasp the whole situation, but now she's
No.
five. So
Nope.
a little bit older, and how does she react to you being gone? Does she get to watch you? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, it gets harder every year. That's the other thing is the last couple of years have gotten harder and harder and harder with leaving. And, I remember that first year of her being like, "Oh, you're leaving." And I was like, "Oh no, this is bad." Your heart like breaks into a million pieces. And how do you explain that? Well, now she's so old that she's like, "How many days are you gone? And which cities are you going to?" Now she's like, you know,
She's
she
in it.
just she knows. She's very
Yeah.
aware and she's kind of lived the life with us on the road. That is the other part in this that's important to me. I like the question I get a lot is like, she just travel with you. I'm like, no, I'm on the team travel. And the only people on that plane are the people that like are essential to be on that plane because we go, go, go. This isn't like a family affair. We have games every single day and we need to get from
Mm,
Seattle to LA to San Francisco back to New York to Miami. Like we have to go and you can't travel with your family. They
yeah.
travel, like they will travel their families separately, but you don't want to go with us. Like we're going in the middle of the night. Like we move and it's not like fun family travel. So anyway, we do have a great plane and like I'm not complaining about that at all. It
Yeah.
is just part of the gig. And so we don't have room for all the families because it is so efficient and all of that. Anyway, my family. If you want to get your family somewhere, you got to get them there, right? And so it's like it's on my mom, it's on my husband, like, where do y'all want to go? And so we've made it a really fun thing for her to pick
Mm,
trips or like what makes sense, what flights are easy. School's starting now, so this is going to be a really tough thing for us. It's summers, obviously the summer, but if the best trip is in April, like a
yeah.
3-day trip to Chicago, like that's where we're going to have to make some decisions. But she loves it. And now she gets it. Like I'm in a hotel and this is what my hotel looks like. And now she's like, all right, you're at Dodger Stadium. I've been there. I know what that is. And
Oh,
I do think that helps. Like because she understands what I'm doing. She doesn't think I'm just like off willy nilly. Like
yes.
I'm on vacation. We got past that part because I think there was a couple times she was like, "Are you going on vacation again?" I'm like, "Honey, this is not vacation." Like, no, like you've been on vacation with me, like we've
Yeah.
traveled, but like just because I get on a plane doesn't mean it's vacation. Anyway, we've gotten past that point. So I think she gets it, but now she wants to go. So we just, we make a thing of it. It's not right behind me, but there's a frame over here with the United States and it's got all the ballparks kind
Oh,
of
perfect.
pinpointed and she gets to put pins in and all the cities that she's been to. She's racking it up too. I mean, this girl's going to
What
hit
an
all 30
experience.
ballparks. Right. And so, these are things she won't understand or like she won't fully grasp or be
Appreciate it.
super grateful for anytime soon. Like that's something, I think about like what age I was when I started to really become grateful for my family and for my upbringing and for my experiences. Like it doesn't happen fast enough for the parent. Like we'll put it that way. So you just have to be like you like accept that. But that eventually she will, like be able to
It
explain that
will
to someone like this is really cool what my parents did for me. But yeah, she's watching. My parents have it on every night. Matt has it on every night. She'll hear my voice. She'll know what's going on. She knows TK. She knows Blummer. Um, yeah, she's totally in, and now she's learning the rules of baseball. It's really fun. So, just bringing her in, I think, is so important. Having her come to games
yeah,
is important for her to really like for this to work again, right? It's
understand.
back to
Yeah.
the quality time. Like, yeah, and it's time that I get to be with her rather than just be at the ballpark without her.
Yeah, and I think it was such a wise thing you said about it's going to take her a minute to
Yeah.
like, I'll tell you 15 isn't the age
No.
of where they appreciate the sacrifices and the full scope of what you do. Um, she will get there. And I would say, as also a mom of 15-year-olds, go ahead and take her out.
Yeah.
In kindergarten and first and second because once they get to high school, you can't. And you miss a day and it's just the world explodes and you just
Right.
pray
I'm
nobody
freaking
gets
out
the
about this.
flu.
Right. I'm
The
freaking out
best
about
thing,
this.
do it.
I'm freaking out. And a big
Yeah,
part of it is October.
do it.
Going back to our October situation, I'm like, if the Astros are on, this is the time when the families do get to travel. This is what people might not know either. Is like I mentioned, families can't travel all year. October, different story. Postseason, families in, and you're along for the ride. And you kind of have to be because you don't know. Like last, like you think about, or like the last couple of playoffs, like you have home field advantage. That's great. You can kind of plan for it, but most aren't like that. Like it is
Ah,
just game seven. If they win, you're going here. If they win, you're going here. Like it is chaotic. So the families just get on the plane and go. So for me, I'm like, what if like the Astros are going on this long run and I'm going to tell Valerie she can't go. I mean, these are
yeah, no, listen,
first world
that's too
problems,
many years
first world
away.
problems.
Don't spiral yet. The best thing I did though was take the kids out, Kinder and First, and we went to Disney World. Um,
Mm,
and we went for a week in January. They were supposed to be in school, but I was like, I'm not doing Orlando in the summer with 800,000 people. Like, no, thank you.
no.
I
Mm-mm.
sweat enough in Houston. I don't need to go sweat in Florida. And nobody remembers Ryan and Quinn being absent from, kindergarten and first grade. Different story now.
Yeah.
But we're not going to worry about it. You're going to be
Okay.
good. Um,
Such a planner. I'm already like planning.
I
Okay.
well,
I'll
I
relax.
feel you. Like I totally and I do the same thing. But let the kids be kids. So
Yeah. Yeah.
obviously, all these businesses, all your travel, you start this whole thing,
Yeah. That was crazy.
and you do pop-ups, Kendra Scott, all these partnerships that you have. What
Mhm.
is important about that for you?
That was like a fun, this started as, okay, let me take you back. So being in my position and being someone with like a following on Instagram and obviously a following on TV, I constantly had, as a lot of other people did, constantly have people sending you stuff to promote. I'm sure you're in this world too with podcasts, like um, wear this, sell this, whatever. And for a long time, like early, I'm thinking 5 years ago, like companies were just sending, like they were sending,
Mhm.
and people who weren't influencers yet, however, like maybe wanted to be or were dipping their toe or just like free stuff, were like wearing it, doing it, and all the things. This was like, I think now like there's this whole influencer world where people are getting paid for this, so no one's wanting to do it for free anymore. Well, that was my thinking. I was like, no, there's a value in me wearing this shirt during this, whether it's on camera or whatever. Like
Yes.
how like this, and it's not the value of the actual piece of clothing that I'm wearing, right? I'm like, you're getting, so many people are getting eyes on this and all this stuff. So in my head I was like, business, why am I not just wearing my own stuff? So
Yeah.
there was a saying, baseball y'all, is something I would say a lot, or I would put it on social media, especially like the app formerly known as Twitter. I would put on there like, if I couldn't explain something in a game, or like there was a moment where Jose Altuve like changed, or like, met a fan and that fan happened to be from Venezuela and it just so like there's so many things like that in baseball where you're just like, whoa, like full circle, or like, wow, like how did that come together? And that was my way of explaining it, was baseball y'all. And I'm obviously very Texan and like it just made sense, right? So I
Yeah.
wanted to make a shirt that said baseball y'all. That's how it started. I was just gonna wear it and like put it up for sale, and hopefully like maybe my mom would buy it, and like that would be it.
Yeah.
And I ended up like meeting up with someone who made shirts, Ram Shirts, a small business owner here in Houston too. And he was just the right size of like, well, I'll help you with these three shirts. And so I made like a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, and like one other baseball shirt, and we put a website together. I did it all myself though. I was like on the road, going back to being on the road, like I was a mom at home and doing all these games. So when I go on the road, I was like, what do I do? What do I do with my time? Like, why do I have so much free time? Like I'm waking up at 6:30 in the morning. Like if I'm on the West Coast, I'm waking up way too early. I'm like, what do I do with
Yeah.
myself? Well, I started a business, and that's, I'd be on the plane on these 4-hour flights and I'd just be like typing away and working on my website. I got it up thinking like I'll sell a few shirts. That was 2022, and they won the whole freaking thing, going back to so it just kind of exploded with them as like this really fun brand that's tied with me that people are seeing online. I made a sweatshirt that said champs y'all, thinking that I would sell a couple of them, and that almost did me in because then I like couldn't make them fast enough and I couldn't get them out fast. I mean, it just became very stressful, but I learned so much very fast
Wow.
on how to do all this. And then it became like this project for me for a lot of baseball moms in the Houston area. My friends were baseball moms, and I'm like, I just want generic or like neutral shirts that moms can wear to their little league game, but also if they need to throw it on with jeans and wear it to the, Dyken Park for an Astros game, they can. I know these kids are changing teams, not just
Yeah.
every season, but it was like, or like it would be like fall ball, you're this, and in summer you're this. And so it was like moms need a good neutral cap to
Yeah.
wear for all their teams and just to throw on. So that's kind of like where the pop-up started. And then it started popping up around town. I'm still figuring it out, Megan. I don't have it all figured out. I don't really know where I want it to go next. I know that I'm doing all sports. I've got an Etsy shop now. I've written a book since, and I just keep like doing little things under my business name. I started a workshop for sideline reporters. It's like I've got like a lot of
Oh, like
little
octopus
project. Yeah,
tentacles out there.
totally. A lot of tentacles. And I honestly don't like have a big goal or a big mission in all of it because it is all a side gig, if you will. I know that's the other thing because I'm also doing content creation and I'm, somewhat of an influencer as well with all that I do there. So a lot of different things going on. However, I do love it. Like it to my core, I love like I love seeing the hats in the ballpark. I love
Yeah.
seeing the moms wear it at their little league games. It makes me so freaking happy. And so I'm going to continue to do it. And there's always new fans and I have a lot of stuff in orange and navy for those who love it. So yeah, I mean, it's
I'll,
fun. And I do enjoy
well,
meeting people at the pop-ups and all of that too. It's a good chance for me to like get out and see people. I know people love to come and meet me and tell me stories about like, their favorite game or when, that like I like people are so touching with their stories. We have the best fans. We have the best people
well,
in Houston. I mean, it's such a great
yeah.
community.
If people are in it, they really have some sort of connection to you. And I will quickly tell, excuse me, our listeners that um, I met you like, I don't know. This was like 2 years ago or something at a
Mhm.
pop-up or a year and a half ago. We were walking past, and I love this story because we were walking past Kendra Scott and La Centera and Katie. And my daughter was with me, and she was probably 14 at the time. She's like, Mom, isn't that the Astros woman that you love? And I was like, oh,
Hey.
that is indeed. So I loved that she recognized that. And I think that's a lot
Yeah.
about what your platform is making baseball and sport reporting and all of these things feel really accessible to our girls that they can do whatever they want to do. They can be
Yes.
pregnant on a sideline. They can announce from a booth. Like there's no their limit is going to be I mean, hopefully it's unlimitless.
Yeah.
So we did meet. I will say just for those, I purchased this. So like this wasn't sent merch. I happen to love it, and my kids go to school conveniently that is blue and orange,
There you
and
go.
I
Perfect.
no, it is actually it's gotten bad though because all of my athleisure wear and whatnot
Orange and
is
blue.
because for sixth grade through 12th grade it's blue and orange plus Astros. I wear neck and
Jeez.
nails. Um, so this works out. This is actually a daily look for me, so it's perfect. I know I want to be respectful of your time. I do have a question from
Hmm.
my friend Kim, who's super fan, but her son Griffin is also a super fan.
Okay.
He wanted me to ask you. Which player interviews are the most fun to do? Because we love watching like the behind the scenes Space City Network and then all of the things that you do with making them like finish a song or
Yeah.
whatever it is. And half the time I'm like, I don't know. I'm way too old for most of that. But So who would be, I guess, I mean, I don't know if you can call them out, but like, what's the most fun player interview?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And it's, over the years, I've had many. I think back to like an Evan Gaddis back in the 2015 days, who I loved interviewing. Never knew what that guy was going to say, but he would be like so deep. Colby Rasmus was another guy back in 2015 that like was like, I have no idea what he's about to say, but here we go. And it would always take me on this ride and journey, and he'd do it in his country accent. It was great. Tony Kemp was like one of my absolute faves to put a microphone in front of. He would crush it. And he's now doing TV. So shocking there. Colin McHugh was super insightful, another great guy. I'm thinking just like back in the day, these are guys who were some of my
Yeah.
favorites. Carlos Correa was good from day one. And would I say he's my favorite? No, because I've got some others who I enjoy talking to more, but Carlos Correa is like one of the best at it. Like if I was in a contest and it was like, we want to see the best interview, I'm like, Carlos, where are you at? Like, let's do this. That dude was
Yes.
born to be on camera and just has a way of saying things, expressing his feelings. And I'm so glad that he, came back and was a part of this again. Because to watch him grow up too, he was grown at 18, but to watch
Yeah.
him become like a true man and like family man, and it's just really cool. So favorites now, Mauricio Dubon is at the top of like one of my all-time favorite players to cover. I mean, this guy is just so open, funny. Like he loves to make you uncomfortable. Like he's that guy who's always just like teasing or pushing or like throwing something out there. You're like, wait, what did you just say? I mean, like it's fun though, and that's kind of how you need one of those in the clubhouse for a long season, because it
Yeah.
does get. I'm seeing these guys all day, every day. Like I joke because I when I get 3 days off for a series or something, I tell people, I'm like, I'm sick of looking at them. Like I need a break from them. We look at each other every day. I stand in the clubhouse twice a day, every day for an hour. I have to go out on the field and I have to interview them every day. I mean, like it's great, but like on day 100, I'm like, okay, like I need to go look at
Yes.
my family for a couple days and come back, because you guys like we all need to just shake it up, right?
Wow.
But Dubon's that guy that like keeps it loose, keeps it fun. Jose Altuve is not the best interview, and that's because he doesn't love interviews, but he is one of my favorites in all aspects. Like literally, at top to bottom, this guy is like the best. Like by the jersey, he's the guy. But his interviews crack me up because we have such a great relationship. I've known him since I got the job, 2013. He's been around since. We're like the OGs that have been around forever, and so I've watched him become like who he is now. From like 2013, Altuve was on a team where they were losing a ton of games, and he hadn't like had a big season yet. 2014, he turned around and won the batting title. So like I've watched that, I've been a part of that, and like been the one to do all the interviews. So he has this thing with me where like if it's a walk-off interview, meaning like right after the game, we do it on the field, he will immediately give me a hard time. Like, Julia, I'm hungry. I gotta go. And like he says it every time. And like whether he's hungry or not, he has to tell me he's hungry. Like, hurry up, Julia, I'm hungry. And so then he knows that I know that he hates doing these. And so, it's like if it's a huge game and he hits 4 home runs, like I'm gonna have to ask you more than one question. But on days where it's just kind of like a normal like 3-1 win, you just happen to be the guy that had 3 hits that day or whatever, I'll make it snappy just for him. Like we have this
Yeah.
respect. We play this whole game. But it's so funny because there's days he's like, really, Julia? And I'm like, yes, like you just hit a grand slam. Of course you have to do the interview. But it's just his way. Like he has to give me a hard time, and then I have to like give him a hard time back. And we do the interview, and it's just kind of like a normal interview, but he's Altuve, so you gotta love him. But yeah, these are
I
probably my faves. There's so many. We've had
well,
great teams.
the personalities, I would say, from what we can observe, just on
Yeah,
the is that everyone just seems so cool. And it's
really,
so
really cool.
fun to see their little personalities come out. And I'm so glad you mentioned Doobie because man, I love some Doobie. I just think he's such an underrated player. And I'm like, do
Yes.
you not see he's playing here today? And he was there last. I mean, I just
and
I
really good
I
at it.
I
I
love
know.
some Doobie. And of course, who doesn't love Altuve? That's been
Yeah,
my
yeah,
one and only jersey. And I don't nerd out on meeting like celebrities typically, but I would probably cry if I met Altuve. I would just be like,
you're
shoot.
not alone. I see it all the time. I see people cry.
I would lose it. Which speaking of losing it, and then we'll get into rapid fire and then I'm gonna let you go. But
Okay.
um we were going to one of the last, we didn't know it was going to be like our last home game. But since we didn't make it, our seats were close to where you guys do the pre-recording or, the pre-stuff before the game by that
Okay.
one bar. And you were coming off with Plumber, whoever, and so many people stopped you as you were like coming from off the whatever pre-live shot to
Yeah.
go to wherever you're gonna go do your thing. And I looked at my husband and I was like, that looks really exhausting. And I like, of course I'm a fan and I wanted to be like, hey, like let me, but it reminded me of how I felt when I had toddlers, where I just felt touched out. Like, please don't touch me, please, but at the same time, it's what you do. So how do you
Hmm.
balance that where you're just like, because I saw you very gracefully take photo after
Good.
photo, keep walking, photo,
Okay,
keep
good.
walking. And it was kind of like this really delicate ballet. So how do you balance that and then not just feel like, oh my gosh,
I
stop.
do. I mean, I do. I go home and I'm just like, okay, that like, just when you finally get that moment alone or when you get the kids to bed, you're like, just need to get in bed. Like I do have days like that where I have events and then I go to the ballpark because I'm on. The second I show up, I'm on, which, going back to like, I have this crazy job that's so demanding of like, I can't just show up and like get it done. Like, let me just punch all this in and get it done. I don't have that kind of job. I have the job where it's like, I gotta look good. I gotta act right. I gotta freaking smile. I gotta get my stats right. I mean, and like I have a ton of people watching, and social media has changed that as well because like
Yeah.
if I like seem like a B word, like someone will see it and post it, like it will get captured because cameras are always on me. And I'm not talking about the actual cameras that I'm talking about
Yeah.
everyone's phone. And, and I can't really have a bad day. You can't like bring it. So yeah, there's like this sense of like getting into character, if you will. Like I'm not fake. Like you will hear this version of me on the television. Like I am the same person, but I do have to like make sure that I'm good and I'm like looking at someone correctly. Or if I have like I can totally relate to when I hear about like celebrity stories and I am not even in the same stratosphere of like a real celebrity, but like I can relate because it's just I've seen the tweet where it's like Julia's so rude, like she just walked by me and I needed a picture and I was like I did. Like I didn't hear. I don't like. I'm
Oh
thinking
no.
back, and I'm like, where was I? And like, what was I doing? And it wasn't because I like didn't want to take a picture, but like, or maybe I was in a hurry because hey, live TV doesn't wait for me. Like I have to go
Yeah.
live at 7, and if I'm somewhere, like it's just you think to all these things of like what was it? Like I genuinely don't like not want to take a picture with people. It was just like maybe I was just
Oh
moving
man.
too fast or didn't hear you or they also don't know that I have IFBs in. Like I
Yeah.
can't always
So you're
hear
hearing. Yeah.
what people are saying to me because I have people talking to me or I have the game in. And so like that's another thing that I'm always like very just aware of like okay, like try to listen in on like I don't know. So it's yeah, it is. I thank you for I mean even appreciating or like, seeing that or it is part of it though.
Oh,
And the touchdown thing is real because now that I have a toddler who says
yeah.
mommy, like I've seen the reels and the people talking about like the count of how many times your kid says mommy in a
Oh
day. Like
no.
I am in that phase with Valerie, like that 5-year-old phase where it's like mommy, look at this, mommy, 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 mommy,
Yeah.
mommy, 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 mommy. Like she'll say it in every way possible. And so, then I will get in my car sometimes and like head to work and I feel like I've had a whole day already because of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and then like I'm older, I'm 40, so like I don't have the energy, and I don't like perimenopause is like, right, it's coming after me. Like all
Yeah.
the things are about to start happening. And like, it's just challenges that we are all dealing with in different
Yeah.
ways. We just have to like support each other and keep talking about it and keep
And
buying each
not
other
saying
coffees.
mean tweets. Rude. Like,
Oh my God. It's so, I mean,
no.
I don't have it near as bad as some bad markets. Like I am so lucky to be in Texas, Houston, like a
Yeah.
winning team. Like people are just genuine, like they're just happy here. And like we have great people here. You know this, like we love living
Yeah.
here. Can you imagine being a Yankees reporter? Like it's just
No.
a different world. It's a
Yeah.
different society, or like what Phillies, what they think of their reporter if their team, like if she has a bad day. I don't even think they have a female up there, and that's probably why. I mean, it doesn't work everywhere, and you have to have thick skin, and I'm super fortunate where I don't get a ton of it, but I don't check anymore either. Like I have
I
come
was gonna
along. I
say,
just don't care anymore. I am 40, and when I
yeah.
was 25 I was checking, and now I'm 40 and I'm like, so like what do you
This
okay.
is, yeah. No,
I
the
don't have
comment
time.
section is just, it is going to be what it is, which again, your
Yeah,
energy is expensive, and that's where you don't need to like spend a
correct.
ton of energy. What we do need to spend energy on though is eating in Houston.
Oh
So
yeah.
we are going to talk about a little bit of rapid fire for you,
Okay.
if you're ready.
Ready.
Um, we're gonna start with family friendly restaurant in Houston, fave.
Oh yeah. Well, Mia's table's always easy for us to go. But you know what? Thank God my kid's 5 now. Like the young years were fun, but it's hard to get your kid anywhere, even, even a family friendly restaurant. She's
Yeah.
so good now. We take her everywhere and she thinks she's an adult, which is awesome. But Cultivare at 5 o'clock. If you go at 5 o'clock, it's in the Heights. It's like my favorite,
Yes.
favorite restaurant. But we started taking her. There's like this corner booth that we love going to. There's a garden in the back, so that's part of the fun. Is like it's just great. It's a great restaurant, one, and go early so you're not like taking your kid at 8 o'clock to everyone's
Yes.
date night. So the fight like the second that place opens, we'll take her, and they have great pizza that's easy. They've got like the butter pasta that she can scarf down, and then a walk in the garden. She loves the walk in the garden. To see all the different plants that
Oh,
all the vegetables that they're gonna do farm to table with and stuff there. So that's a good spot.
good hidden gem. Okay, duly
Hmm.
noted. It's been a minute since I ate there. So you're at home right now. It's off season. What is your favorite meal to make, or can be order in that everyone will eat?
Yeah, we're getting El Tiempo. If it's up to me, we're ordering a fajita dinner for the family. I don't cook, so I don't know if you gathered this from the entire podcast. I
I-
don't have time. And I honestly like
yeah.
never learned. My husband makes fun of me all the time. My husband cooks great, thank God. But I never learned. Like I was crazy in college. I was crazy in high school. I like never been home at night. Like nights I'm always worked. And so like the idea of cooking a dinner isn't something that I do. So I eat at the ballpark most nights, but in the off season, like you said, I'm home. My husband will cook. He's like a steak and rice and veggie guy. We're pretty healthy in the off
Yeah.
season. We try to like clean it up after a crazy season of
Yeah.
lots of wine and whatever plain food I was getting. The plains food is great. I don't say that in a bad way. We
Yeah.
are on the Rockets plain. So it's Tillman's, all of Tillman's restaurants cater. So it
Oh,
could be
cool.
Mastro's. We're getting like butter cake. I mean, we're doing just fine. But it's also like, whoo, it's like the freshman 15, like
Yes.
really put on weight every season. So anyway, we're pretty like simple. Taco nights big at my house. My husband will do that a lot.
I love that.
Hmm.
And I was going to be a guessing person and be like, I'm not sure that I see you whipping up like gourmet food, but like, not to judge, but
No, no, yeah.
I get it. Just the timing. Favorite place in Houston to take your kid?
We're on like the opposite side of town of all the museums. So I wish we could do that more because she loves the children's museum. Like all those museums are so awesome. We just don't
Yeah,
live super close to all that. She is a big Slumu girl though. I don't know if anyone's done Slumu yet, but if you have a little one,
yeah.
it is a time, and that's like her favorite spot. But Yeah, I mean, we love a park. Not any summer though.
It's hard. We're about to get to park season. When this airs, we will be fully in park season. We
Oh,
won't be even
always so hot.
completely done.
Like a dewberry. Like we love doing all
Yeah.
that stuff in Houston. There's so many great things in Houston.
There are tons
But
of
yeah,
outdoor spaces. We have a great list on our website too.
of course you
Okay,
do.
so there is a lot of Julia being mom, a lot of Julia being sideline reporter, a lot of Julia being a wife. What does Julia do on her own time?
What time? I'm kidding. I mean, it's so sad. I'm
A
not a chill
facial?
person. I like cannot sit and just like watch Netflix to save my life. It's just like I'm
Yeah.
always like, what should I be doing? What can I grab? I could be folding clothes. Like I'm just crazy. Yes, a facial. So that is definitely like once a month I hit up a place called Skin Lab and I'm just like, help me. And it's also like huge for my job, right? Like I'm trying to stay on it. I'm trying to keep my job. I'm trying to look as young as I possibly can. It's part of the gig, but it definitely, ooh, it's like an hour of like nothing else. Like I'm forced to
Wow.
just chill.
Good.
Um, I mean, a good workout, I need that. I've always needed that. I've needed the endorphins and all the good stuff. So if I have an hour, like you'll either, yeah, I'm either working out or doing that. But I
Yeah.
find joy in like getting stuff accomplished. So I am pretty bad. Which is why I have all these jobs.
Yeah.
So like I'm
Are
working on
you,
something.
do you know your Enneagram number?
No,
No.
it's probably the
You're
crazy one.
I think you're a three. You're either a three or an eight. I'll send you some details after, and you can
Please do.
explore that when you can't sit still. You can
Please
take a
do.
test, and it will tell you what you are. But um, I'm obsessed with Enneagram. It's like basically how you're motivated,
Yes, yes.
and what drives you, and what really you're worried about, like image conscious. Like I'm a
Hmm.
three. Think you could be a three. We're not supposed to type other people in the Enneagram world. I will send you a link.
Okay, please do.
I
I'm
just
very curious now.
broke all the laws. Okay, last question. And it's like kind of a big, broad question. What's your favorite thing about being a mama?
Oh, I remember you sent this over.
Yep.
Thing is so hard. Thing, like it's like that one thing, like I don't know. It's like her running into my arms. It's her, it's just like there's everything that it just there's so many things about her and being a mom that make you just warm and fuzzy. Like I said, it's such a hard job, but like man, those moments, like there are those moments
Mhm.
that are so cool. And I don't know, I would say like my favorite thing is watching her grow up, like watching her learn new things and become more independent and confident and um I thrive off that. So like like all right, I'm doing something right. Like we're moving in the right direction because
Yeah.
again, it's just kind of my personality of like what can we work towards or what can we be doing? And I that makes me so happy. But I miss a lot of bedtimes with my job. I miss a lot of carpool times. So when I do get them, I am just like so grateful and trying to really take it in. Just being a mom, right? Like being
Yeah.
there when the little things or for the Halloween costumes. Gosh, how many Halloweens did I miss at the start of her life because the Astros had a game and wherever. Stuff like that. It's just it means the world to me to be there for some of that stuff. But yeah, it's the best. It really is the best. It's just so
It
hard to
is
pick
the
like
best.
one thing.
No, it's such a fair answer, and I think it's the little and the ordinary, right?
Hmm.
But that isn't so ordinary because
Yeah.
especially for those who of us who had babies late in life too, and
Yeah.
kind of the unexpected gift. So, Julia, you have been so generous with your time. I am so glad that you agreed to join us. Tell us quickly about your book that's coming out.
Oh, yes. Okay, so we were talking about this earlier. We should have segued right into it, but you were saying, like for young girls, and you just hope that
Yeah.
they can like get exposed to different jobs and different things. And that's kind of what led me to write a book. It's called Her Day at the Park. It's about a little girl named Ruthie, and it's honestly like it was inspired from different women that I've met. One of my best friends in the world is Jenny Cavnar, who calls games now for the athletics. And she and I called a game at the same time last year. I think you mentioned that off the top, but like she's so incredibly inspiring. And then there's all these women who are like still photographers and they're just in the mix and they're everywhere. They're in the front office, they're like wherever. And I'm talking like all the ballparks that I go to. So obviously Houston, you know, you'll see the same women all the time, but I get to see them all. Like the Giants have had a PA announcer that's been a woman forever and ever. Really cool women. So the day that Ruthie has is like she's being exposed to some of the different jobs at the ballpark. A lot of them are women. And so if you know of a little girl, I mean, this is like perfect for a little bitty girl who's just, you know, daring to dream and
Oh,
you want her to be exposed to some cool gigs and to some cool things that she could do with her life. This book would be great, but it's fun. I mean, this is like something I wanted
yes.
to do forever. It took forever. So I'm so
Yeah.
proud that it's like actually it's
Like you're
here.
holding it.
I'm holding it.
Where can people get it? How can they order it?
Yeah, so shopbaseballyall.com is my website and you can
Okay.
buy it there. There's also a paperback version on Amazon if you want to go searching for that one that's a little bit less cost. But yeah, Her Day at the Park on shopbaseballyall.com. Thank you for letting me mention that.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's such a good gift to give somebody. You could have the book and maybe like a little Astros jersey or, something
Mm-hmm.
like a little hat. You could make a whole little bundle. And I love that you wrote that specifically for that reason. Um, we love seeing you be on the move in Houston, and in a bazillion other places. But you're always our constant here. And so we've so appreciate it watching your journey. We are going to hope and pray that we keep you very busy in October of 2026.
Fair. That's
I
fair.
mean, as a fan,
Yes,
I would not be a
totally.
good fan if I didn't say that, but I hope you do enjoy some very well-deserved downtime and
Thank
rest.
you.
And thank you so much for joining me. This was a pleasure.
Of course. Thank you for having me.